almost $40,000, only 10, almost 11K drawdown, 1.4 profit factor. This is by far the best settings here. 32,000 a month. Yeah, this was by far the best one. Hi everyone, welcome back to Code for Traders. Today is the Friday video. If you guys saw the Monday video, is where I tested 100 trades manually for the Ichimoku Cloud strategy, and the Wednesday video, which was actually the trading view code that we tested live. Both of them were good. But I also wanted to let you guys know these codes that I create in these strategies is pretty much for education purposes. We test strategies to see how they perform. And I create code based off those strategies just to see how the performance is in a longer time frame. And you can kind of play around with the settings themselves. But if you guys will be interested in buying them, they will also be sold on my Etsy store. I don't sell them for that much. It was like $25 if you guys would want them. But it's mostly for you guys to have a starter to kind of build up on it. So you can have better strategy overall, hopefully in the near future. But having that said, this is the NinjaTrader version of the Ichimoku Cloud strategy. So I'm actually gonna go to it right now. I already tested it. I tested it a few different ways. So let me actually walk through this. If you guys are familiar with my NinjaTrader walkthroughs, this will be exactly the same thing. Showing you the strategy itself, its performance, how it works, the settings. And again, like I said, if you were interested in it, you can kind of play around with it on your own time. If you can go on Etsy store and just purchase it and just play around with it. So here's the actual chart themselves. It looks a little hectic at the moment because it is taking a lot of trades. But so I can actually explain the strategy itself again. Now let's move over to the side. So the strategy is as follows. The price needs to be under the Ichimoku Cloud. It's kind of hard to see with the actual boxes here, or these zones. But here's the Ichimoku Cloud itself. Here, the blue line is a conversion line. The red line is the baseline. The price needs to be below the Ichimoku Cloud, and the price needs to be below the conversion line. But the conversion line also needs to be below the baseline. Once the price closes outside the Ichimoku Cloud, like in this scenario here, a trade is taken, stop loss is now placed at the baseline, so right here, right? And the take profit is 1.5 times that. With the settings here, you can change all of those things, but that is the strategy in a nutshell. Very simple, very straightforward. Like I said, this is just a starting point. You can add other things to it. You can add support and resistance. You can do price structure, which is probably one of the better ones. Liquidity sweep, or just use it as a filter before you take any other trade. But this is a great starting point. So let's now continue with the settings themselves. Here's the actual results, 28,000 over a year time span. I'll show you right here. Just so I can show you, I'll run it so we can see. See, 28,000 over a year time span. So let's go through the settings themselves. Here's the Ichimoku Cloud. This is the same setting as all the other ones. I didn't change any setting. This is the default Ichimoku Cloud settings. I removed the lagging span. I don't really like the lagging span. As you can see, let me just show it like this. You'll see, should be another line. So you see this line right here? Let me zoom this out. Wow, that looks a lot worse. Let me zoom some of it in. So it's this green line right here. I don't like to have that line there, so I just remove it. But you can have it on if you would prefer. So here's the 1.5 TP. You do get good results with the 1.5. Pretty much all my strategies use the 1.5, but depending on the strategy and how you determine the market or how you even use the Ichimoku Cloud in general, you can have a much higher than 1.5, or you can do 0.5 to have a much higher win rate. It depends on how you would prefer to use the strategy itself. But with the 1.5, you get a profit factor of 1.2, not too bad. Higher is better, of course. 28,000 in profit, 14,000, let's say 15,000 drawdown. That's a little tricky depending on the prop firm you use. This will probably be better for a live account versus a prop firm account, but you can kind of control how you would want to use it, because right now I'm doing percentage of equity and we're going based on $100,000 account. This says you can profit about 2,300 a month. Very good, with a 44.7, I guess 45% win rate over 266 trades. Very good. That is very doable. You can use this as a jumping off point. But if we were to just increase this, let's say you want to do a 2. What would that give you? 2 does give you better. The win rate does go down. The profit factor actually goes up. And the profit per month also goes up. So it's pretty good actually doing a 2. But shorts absolutely kill you. This is a long trade all day. Oh, also, I didn't even get to it. I'm trading the 60-minute on gold. Micro gold to be exact. This is the best time or best symbol as well that I found for the best performance. You can do NASDAQ, you can do S&P, but this is what I saw that is the best to use it on. So that's what I would recommend. And also, so this will, like I said, this will drop the actual win rate quite a bit, but you do win more and the profit factor is more. Let's go the other way. Let's do 1 instead. What would that give us? 23.6, 53. This is not bad either. 53, that means more than half of the percent of the time you will win. It's not bad at all. I think that's great. Let's see, 0.5. This is what I like sometimes. If you have, since trading is a very psychological career, you can say, this will give you a much higher win rate, but it will give you a lot less wins overall. I mean, a lot less profit. You do win almost 70% of the time, but you only make $10,000. Profit factor is not that good, and you do not make that much a month. But this does work ultimately. Here I have a engulfing requirement. So if we were to go back to this trade here, this entry here that was entered here, what this does is you need an engulfing. So for example, let's say this scenario here, this here. If this candle, this candle is technically green, then this trade would have been taken. If I were to remove this, that concept will be removed. So then this, I believe, won't take that trade. Yeah, it wouldn't take that trade because it doesn't count. See how this one took it? It was green and then engulfing. Green. Yeah, so green engulfing. Red, green engulfing. So let's see, what would the results be for that? It didn't do that well. Did not do that well, but that is an option if you guys would want to take it. I don't think is, you can, depending on how you use the strategy, that can be a good filter, but you don't need to use it. Like I said, this is the positioning size. Here I have equity percentage off the 100K account, which is what's giving us this. You can do the dollar risk. This will be good for the prop firms. You can do 500. Let's see what that give us. It does still do well for the end of the year. Yeah, but it's kind of like the drawdown and the take profit about the same. This may not help you that much, but it still does work, but it's not the best. You can do higher, of course, if you're willing to risk more. What would 1,000 give us? Oh, 1,000 actually performed a good amount better. Actually, wow, 1,000 did perform very well. What if we do 15? What would that give us? Even better. Yeah, I mean, this went up quite a bit. Profit factor went down. But still good. So you can, I mean, you have to keep risking more. But the other option is fixed quantity. So this will be only one contract. Mind you, I trade futures. So it'll be one contract. So one contract would give us one contract. Is not bad. What if I do 2 contracts? Oops, sorry. Oh, I mean, it's gotten too break even. I don't know. I wouldn't go with that. I would either go with maybe $1,000 fixed price or the fixed percentage, equity percentage, I should say. And like I said, you can change your account size here. This section here is the risk management part. Is, if you recall what I said with the take profit or the stop losses, the stop loss will always be at the baseline of the entry candle. So this was the entry candle, it'll be right here. What this is a buffer if you want to go slightly above or slightly below. So for example, let's say we do 50. So it went, yeah, it went way above it. Yeah, so as you can see, it's above it now. Would that actually improve the win rate if we did it at 50? No, it did not improve it. So you can leave it at 5. I like to leave it at 5. It's just for like a buffer. I don't like when the price gets really close to my stop loss, like almost kisses it and then just reverses. This is just a little buffer past that. So this one's a trailing stop loss. So trailing stop loss is pretty much what it says. It follows the baseline down. And that actually did really good. Actually did very good with the baseline like that. Yeah, actually did pretty good. So what it's doing, as you can see where it's at right now, this was up here originally. No, this was the entry. It was up here. Then it started following it down until the price hit it right there. Yes, you technically won very, very little, but that way you can kind of control, you can win really big and risk really small, but then you can be taking out scenarios like this. So technically this is a losing trade that was actually not losing, right? You made like what? This was like nothing, but you made something. Same as this one, you didn't lose that much, but you weren't gonna win either. So this has its benefits. I would recommend using this as well, but it does have its benefits. So here is the daily loss limit. You can do 300 or more. Let's say leave 300 for now. What does that give us? So once the 300 is hit, you're done for the day. It won't take any more trades. That performs very well like that. Very, very well. Almost 50%. This is actually the best performing one. Almost $40,000, only almost 11K drawdown, 1.4 profit factor. This is by far the best settings here. 32,000 a month. Yeah, this is by far the best one. You can do the limit here. This works perfectly. Next. So this is the display zone. This is pretty much here, the actual charts. You can remove them if you want. I like to have them there because I can visually see what's going on. It can get cluttered. That's why I added it here, so you can remove it if you want. Same thing as the Ichimoku Cloud. You can remove everything if you would prefer. And like I said, this is the actual instrument. We're using micro gold on the 60-minute or the 1 hour. There's no commission here. I added no commission because if you trade prop firms, there are no commissions on the prop firm, especially Apex. There's none. So here's the actual code itself or the strategy itself. If you do like it, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. It doesn't cost you guys anything. It's a few seconds, but it does help a lot. If you also like it, you can look at Etsy store if you want to try this specifically for yourself and you play around with it. And like I said, this was a Friday video. We do have the Monday manual trading, and we also have the trading view on Wednesday, that code that we tested live as well. So again, thank you for being with me today. I will see you on the next strategy on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.